Hey guys, welcome back. We're getting excited for the ice season this year, and we thought it'd be a good idea to kind of go over our gear, what we use, how we store things, and give you hopefully some useful tips on that kind of stuff. So, well, first of all, not many people, including myself, like to go fishing without a fish finder. So this one that I like to use is the Markham LX7. It's one of the LCD ones, and then this little guy on the side here is Ice Defense Pro, it's called. And when it's super cold out, you drop it in your hole, and it circulates the water from the bottom of the hole to the top to keep it from freezing up. That's really helpful when you're out, hole hopping, moving around when it's really cold out. But that's my favorite flasher by far that I've used so far. But let's dive into this bag here, show you what I like to have out there. So, first of all, this is bags by Striker Ice. It's awesome. I read some reviews on it before I bought it, and they all seem pretty good. And I decided to go for it, and I can honestly say that it's 100% what everybody said it was, and I don't know if it could get any better than this. So inside the middle here is just a big storage compartment. So I throw a full-size skimmer in there, and then I got a ton of tackle boxes, spoon box, my hooks, swivels, and some sinkers in there. This is my heavier jig box. I got really heavy jigs in there. What's this one? And then this one is jig and wraps and rattle baits. Let's see. I got one of these little wallets. See, this is an older one, but this has some like teardrop jigs in them, like tungstens. But look, these are all lead. I don't really use them much anymore, but they are helpful for. Sometimes you get kind of a tough bite and they like a slower fall speed. That's when I'll go back to the lead jigs. Let's see. This is my tungsten box. All the tungsten in there. And then I have this box which I keep all my line in. Both some braid, tip-up line, and then all my fluoro I use for leaders. Keep that in a box like that. It's nice and stacks nice in there. This I'm pretty sure is my light. It's a 12 volt green LED light, hooked to a battery. Drop it down the hole. This is very important for when we're smelt fishing at night to attract them. And then, what else is in here? I have a little bag with some slip bobbers, with everything for those. And then, ice picks. Always gotta have those. A bait puck. This is usually my pocket, but it's in here for now for storage. And then this is just a stand for my Aquaview, to hold the camera cable. Drape it in there, put it over the hole, and then you can twist it to rotate your camera to get the view you want. So that's the inside of the bag. Everything. The 3600 size boxes fit perfect in there. It's like the perfect width, and they just stack nice. So, then in the side pouch is I keep some extra snap-on towels for my pants. These Striker bibs have the little snap-on towels to dry your hands off, get the fish slime off. They work really great. I keep some extra ones because when you're catching them a lot, you fill them up and then some split ring pliers, some regular pliers, a knife. This is these gloves. I like to keep some light fleece or wool gloves. These are Fish Monkey. These are really good, actually. I bought these last year. Actually, Hill got them for me for Christmas, and they're light. They're not super warm, but they're just enough to cut the wind and stuff off of your hands. When you're fishing, you can still feel with them and you know, do some stuff. I still take them off the tie hooks, but anything short of tie and line you can do with those. And then these, I have a you know, all my plastics in this one as well. Let's see, this side. Oh, the Aquaview, very important piece. And this one. Oh, this one, I just keep some hand warmers and little stuff in there, throwing some extras or whatever. And then on the inside are the ice rods, you know, like chicken rods. And it has room for 5. It has 5 tubes, but you can fit, you know, a couple per tube if you really want to. So that's the striker bag. And let's see what else. You want to go over? Oh, I already talked about the bibs a little. The coat is also a striker coat. I mean, it's a float suit. You know, striker's not the only one. There's a bunch out there, but I really like their stuff, and it works really well, fits really well. You know, have good movement in it, and you know, all that.
Hey guys, so Jared went over some of his gear with you. I'm just going to show you some of mine that I take with me all the time. We've got some other stuff, but this is basically stuff that goes with us every time we're out fishing. So I'll start with my fish finder. Jared's got the Markham. What I did is I bought a Helix 7 because I use it for open water fishing too in my small aluminum boat. And I just basically wired it into this Pelican case. It's actually a Harbor Freight version. So the display's up here. I got my lithium battery here. I got a glow tube, glow lure box there, just on a switch. And then my transducer for ice sits back here. This has all the maps and everything on it for the different lakes we go to, and I can live chart in the summer and then bring it out on the water and know where the same spots are in the winter. So that's a pretty cool setup. It was something that made the most sense for me. If you definitely don't want a dedicated ice unit and want something you can use all year round, this is probably the way to go. If you're looking to have a dedicated ice unit, the Markham flashes are really nice too. And that's good and protected for when I throw it in the sled and bash it around and everything. So like Jared talked about, we both got these striker ice bags. I'll give you a little better view of mine here. What I take with me in the main part here, it's actually a small lure box bag. This is just from Walmart, actually. I've got my jig box, which is double-sided. I've got this blue box, which is mostly terminal tackle. It's got a couple little spoons in it, but it's mostly terminal tackle. And then I've got 2 boxes. This one's got some plastics in it, some jig heads, some glow lures, and then this other one is mostly jig heads and other terminal stuff here. Up here I've got just a pair of snippers for line and a little LED light that I take with me so I can see when it's dark. And in the sides here, got some garlic eggs and shrimp eggs. I've really yet to see these work very well, but I have them just in case. And this side is some trophy trout ice gel. Put this on my plastic lures just to give them a little bit of a scent. Seems to help when it's a really tough bite. You know, it's probably one of those things that's just stacking the odds another 2% in your favor, so why not do it? I've got this Zero Rust box that I really haven't done a whole lot with yet. I just grabbed it because it fits good in here sideways like this, and it's probably going to be for more lures and stuff when I get them. We've got some spools of Dacron in here for tip-ups. This is a jaw jacker, so it folds out. A lot of you are probably familiar with it. It's basically an automatic fisherman. This slides out, and then this will pop up and it holds your rod. But what I also have, and there's a guy local in New Hampshire who makes these, is this 3D printed flag kit, and I actually like it a lot. It just goes down under the trigger like this. You just glue this little piece on here, and when your line trips the trigger, the flag comes up. And it was just super hard for me to see if this was triggered from a distance away. And in New Hampshire, if you don't tend your traps every 15 minutes, or at least look at them and make sure that there's nothing there, they're probably going to write you a ticket. So definitely been helpful for the small amount of money that it costs. I think it was like 15 or 20 bucks for the flag kit. Let's see, this stuff back in here. I usually have a skimmer in here too, but right now it's not in there. Just a little plastic skimmer. Actually, I think it broke last season, so I gotta buy another one. Go through some of these pockets here. So, let's set this over here. Basically, a bunch of Suffix line. This one pocket on the side. I do have some, this is just Bass Pro Shops 50-pound fluorocarbon for pike fishing. So that's basically all I keep in that side. Other pouch, I've just got kind of random stuff like a tape measure, good to have for various different reasons, some wire leader, some hand warmers, some more wire leader, some slip bobbers, use these for the automatic fisherman, and then I have some replacement ice auger blades, because generally one of us is good for running into a rock or a piece of mud or something sometime in the season. And it's no fun when you're out fishing, you can't drill a hole. Other side, I got a bunch of lures from Roxcore Lure Works. These are basically all I use for plastics during the winter. These are all glow, so if you haven't heard of them, check them out. This is a nor'easter color with glow in it. They're good for lake trout. I got a bunch of their tubes. And they also sell these glow minnows, which are really cool. They work good for panfish, crappie, white perch, type of thing. And then the last compartment I got here, pretty empty. I just got some spring bobbers, titanium spring bobbers for smelt fishing, another wire leader, some Berkley power bait scent, which is supposed to be good for crappie, but I don't know. I put it on once in a while. I'm not really sure if it's done anything. So again, in each side of this, you can stuff a good amount of rods. I've got on this side just a cheap rod that's set up for smelt jigging. It's just an ultralight cheapo. That's another cheap rod. I really actually got to buy some better rods this year. The setup I like the most is on this side. This is a Berkeley amp ice rod. It's a cheap rod, but it's got a good backbone. It's good for bigger fish. And then I have a Shimano Sienna reel on it. I really like these reels. They're like 30 bucks, and they're great for ice fishing. They're just expensive enough that they're quality, and not so expensive that I feel bad about buying them. You know, with open water stuff, it's a little easier to justify. The only thing I've noticed about this bag is it's good to leave your drag super loose when you put it in, because the line will actually catch on the tube a little bit, and sometimes that'll pull the tip up in the tube. And with some of the more delicate rods like the tickle sticks and stuff, it can maybe break them, but I think that's more because the tickle sticks are just inherently kind of flimsy. I use these Corker Polar Vortex boots. I would have went with Baffin, but they didn't have my size. They stop at like a 12, and I was kind of worried about fitment. These have actually been super good. They've got the wire quick lace system that you just twist. They've got soles that pop off of them, so you can pop these off, and I've got a spiked set for when I go fishing early season, and that's really good because you're not slipping and sliding around. I put the rubber nubbed ones on for when we're in and out of the shanty, so I don't mar up the floor and everything. I got the same striker suit as Jared. I've got the hard water bibs, which are a little bit warmer, but it's just a preference thing. And these are great. You don't get wet when you're kneeling down or anything. You want to lay down on the ice, take a nap, you can do it. They're super warm. The coat, Striker Ice coat. Again, many companies selling float suits. They're all going to do the same thing. So go try one on, figure out what you like, and buy that. I always carry my bogas with me, just in case we get a big one. Also, it's helpful to lip some of these fish to get them unhooked if it's in a small hole or something. I also have a cheap knockoff Ozark Trail Leatherman in here, it's got a pair of pliers in it. It's always on me, so if I need them, I got them. And then, oh yeah, I have these Katahdin leather gloves. And basically what I did is I went to my local power sports place, because I ended up with frostbite 2 years ago at one of the derbies, and ever since my hands have been kind of sensitive to cold. I said, look, I need something that, like, when my hands are wet, I can put them back in and they'll warm up. And surprisingly, these work. You know, I do most of my work on tip-ups and stuff just with my bare hands, and as long as I wipe them off with my towels and shove them back in here, they generally warm up pretty good. These are also great for riding across the lake, you know, on the wheeler or the snow machine. Really cuts the wind down. They were like 80 bucks, so it is what it is, but I was tired of my hands being cold. And then probably the last thing you want is a pair of polarized sunglasses and a nice warm hat for ice fishing. So go find something that you can throw on, covers your ears. If you're out there and a bunch of wind and stuff, you can still get out and jig a little bit, move around. You know, you'll be somewhat comfortable. Well, guys, I'm just hanging out in my shanty in the garage here. We were gonna make this a two-part video, but really it's already like 20 minutes long. So by the time we went through and went back and spread everything out on the table and gave you a real deep look at, you know, all the lures, how we set them up, what we do with our jigs, all that stuff, it'd probably be close to an hour long, and I know a lot of people just aren't going to sit through that. So we're going to break it up into two parts. We're still going to do that for you this week. Next week sometime we'll have a video out, which is part 2, and we'll go through, you know, how to rig certain jigs, what we use for certain types of species of fish, all that stuff. I do want to remind you that we're doing some giveaways on our channel, so 250 subscribers, which is coming up pretty quick if we keep going the way we're going. That's going to be a Storm Arashi Glide. It's like a $40 value, so it's a sweet bait. Get out there in the early spring and start throwing around, catch some big bass. We're also doing a giveaway for 500 subscribers, which is going to be a St. Croix Mojo Bass and a Shimano reel. We're going to load that up with Suffix line. We're going to throw in some Rapala lures, some lures from Rockscore Lure Works. It's really a sweet setup. We're hoping to give that away in early spring, so you can get out there and go fishing. It's going to be 500 subscribers again. And then at 1,000 subscribers, you guys get to go fishing with us, one of you guys. So we're hoping we can give these prizes away sooner rather than later. So if you can help us out, go to our channel, share our videos, like our videos, drop a comment, subscribe, and just keep us going. That would be great. And we'll see you in the next one.